So if you ever get a chance to pop into one of my speech sessions, you will most likely find some tape on the ground as a makeshift balance beam, a basket with a bunch of different size balls next to it, maybe a hula hoop, maybe a pool noodle is out, a couple cones, something that you can jump over, so maybe a little box. And this is all because I love using obstacle courses in speech therapy. So today I want to talk to you about why this is one of my favorite activities and favorite tools to grow speech and language skills. My name is Tricia. I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist and the owner of Illuminate Family Workshop, a practice located in Phoenix, Arizona. I am also the creator of a free mini course email challenge series called Boost. This is going to be for grown-ups of toddlers, parents, teachers, aunts, uncles. You guys are the coolest for joining in on this. And what I'm going to do is send you an email every day for 4 days. It's actually 5 days. Couldn't help myself, added a bonus. And it's going to have a daily intention and a strategy of the day. It's in a short little video. So if you check out the description below, you will find a link where you can sign up for that, and that'll be coming straight to your inbox. Cool. Okay, so let's get back to talking about obstacle courses. So we've got a list of reasons. Number one, I actually have 4 reasons, but there's a lot of different like part A, part B's in all these reasons. Because these obstacle courses are just really great. So my first reason that I love why these are my favorite, the obstacle courses are my favorite, is because it falls into the category of task-oriented movement. And Kelly Vess, she's an SLP, and this is her zone of genius, task-oriented movement. And she talks about how these activities can support executive functioning development in our preschoolers and our school-age kids. So if you think about it, visualize a obstacle course with like 6 or 7 different obstacles to go through. It can work on self-control, self-inhibition. As you're going through each obstacle, through all of the obstacles, you can't get distracted by what's going on around the different toys maybe that are around the room. You've got to stay focused on your mission to get to the end of the obstacle. And it gives kids practice in doing these types of tasks that are longer and longer in length as they get older. And it also works on working memory. So you've got to remember the different steps to go through 6 different obstacles. And do the right moves during the right times. And it also works on the mental flexibility that is involved with executive functioning skills. So your child has to plan out the different moves that they're going through, and then also modify their plan as they're going through the different obstacles and execute it to actually get to the end. So that I love to work on executive functioning skills and weave that into everything else that we're doing. Reason number 2, it is super fun and engaging. I know like fun is on the very top of my list. It might be at the bottom of yours if you are thinking that speech therapy has to be very serious. But let me tell you, when you have a high level engagement with a child, that means they're getting involved in their learning. They're curious, they're passionate, they are attentive, and they're interested. And these are all amazing things, ways that your brain can be activated for this new type of learning. And a lot of my clients are school-age kids with ADHD, and I've got an ADHD brain. So movement is really important for the both of us as we are learning something new and incorporating that and integrating that into our life. It's also an opportunity for collaboration, to get some buy-in from a child and get them involved. So oftentimes I'll make the obstacle course with them and ask for their opinion or give them choices on where we want to put the different obstacles. And that really supports with some self-advocacy skills. And then it also supports with some practicing with compromising. If, say, maybe there's me, and 2 other children, and they want to both put a pool noodle right here that you have to jump over, and the other one wants to lift it up over their head. We've got to problem solve in real time together and collaborate together. So it just comes, so there's some natural opportunities for collaboration and problem solving together. Reason number 3 is that I can use anything in my environment. If I'm doing something at someone's home, I can use a chair and a pillow. If we are in a clinic space, we can just use whatever we've got in the area and kind of incorporate the environment or whatever the child is interested in that moment, to get their engagement and get their involvement. And I can also make it really challenging depending on what I'm working on, and how the child is doing that day as far as their tolerance for frustration and, have they gotten enough sleep? Did they eat lunch today or did they skip it? How is our brain feeling? And making it we can do the same activity, but we can make it a little bit more difficult every time too. And that way it kind of creates an expectation of what we're doing while also increasing the demand and pushing them a little bit further. Reason number 4 on why I love obstacle courses is that you can naturally work on speech therapy goals throughout the obstacle course. It just takes a little bit of creativity, so stick with me here. Obviously, a couple of the obvious ones are that you can work on location concepts as you're going through the obstacle course. You can talk about how you're going in the tunnel, over the block, under something. So you can talk about those location concepts. You can also talk about what happens first, next, and last. These are awesome words, pre-literacy words, and then also as your child is learning how to retell stories in a structured way, that they get these concepts of first, next, and last. If your child is working on a sound, say they're working on the CH sound, ch, and maybe there's a part in your obstacle course where they have to throw a ball and tell it to you, and they have to say, catch, catch. So maybe there's a couple different balls in the realm, so they get a couple different repetitions throughout it, but the word is relevant to them and you can get high frequency counts through that. And they want to continue practicing that sound because it's super fun. Another target that I love using, another thing that I love to target are verbs throughout an obstacle course. So prior to you guys going through the course, you can talk about what you're going to do in future tense, what you will go through, what you will go under, and then after you go through it, you can tell a story about what you already went through. So then you can use things in past tense verbs. Maybe you can work on categorizing as you're going through the obstacle course and working on some vocabulary skills. You can do this by, say, okay, at the very end of the obstacle course, I would have like 3 different buckets, maybe people, transportation, and clothing. And I give them like a little card or a little picture at the very beginning, and then they go through their course while holding their card. And at the very end, now they've got to sort out where this card goes. Does it go in the people bucket, in the transportation bucket, or the clothing bucket? And they've got to sort through. Or maybe you have the cards at the very end and they have to do 3 of them. Or maybe the cards are spread out through the obstacle course and they have to pick it up like hopscotch and collect them and then sort them. So you're adding in the movement, you're adding the vocabulary. You can do all of these goals all in one if you really wanted to as well. Sometimes what I'll do is if I'm working with a couple different kids at the same time and they have different goals, is I'll give them different tasks to do throughout the obstacle course that work on their goals. So it's one activity, yet they're working on the goals that are specific to them. The opportunities are truly endless when you are using an obstacle course as your activity and your tool in speech therapy. What I think is really cool is that I often hear that kids have so much fun making obstacle courses in speech therapy that they go home and they continue to make them throughout the week, and they continue to target the skills that we were working on in session. So we get some carryover through that. I encourage you not to buy any new things this week and use what you've got at home to create an obstacle course and get siblings involved, make it really fun. Leave me a unicorn emoji in the comments if you think that obstacle courses are as magical as I think they are. Or let me know in the comments what your favorite or go-to household item for an obstacle course is. Maybe I will see you guys next time. Add yourself to the email list. You can see a link for that in the description below. And that will give you updates on new videos and then also new mini courses that I come out with, because I am brewing with ideas right now. So you want to stay updated on that. Cool?